be okay with dying alone. Whenever someone expresses their feelings to me, I literally get into a fight or flight mode. Stop trying to prove them your value. You can't make somebody who doesn't see your value see your value. I don't chase, I attract. Repeat that after me. This has to be a sign from the universe. You know those friends who you were once so close with, suddenly they get into a relationship and they just forget about you? That just gives me so much ick. I think hearing all the trauma relationship stories my friends or people around me have gone through just makes me rethink being in a relationship myself. But now I just overthink every single encounter. Better to let them lose you. I wish I was more expressive.
Hello?
Oh my god, you're a little bit dirty. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kaylee and I'm happy you're here. Yes, you read the title right. I'm 20 years old and I've never kissed anybody in my life, and that's tea. But I'm actually at a stage in my life right now that I'm okay with being single. Today's video is gonna be very different from my usual content. I think I've never talked about my love life online before, and this low-key feels a bit too personal. I told myself 2025 is the year we stop caring about what others think and just do whatever the heck we want. Life is so short, nothing's really that deep anyway. I think there's definitely way more people than you think that hasn't been in a relationship before. I used to be super insecure about not having any dating experiences. After moving abroad and getting to meet all kinds of people, I realized a lot of people are on the same boat as me. I've had a few situationships here and there, but I realized some people actually never had talking stages before and zero crushes at all. So that just blows my mind, and it makes me feel better about myself in a way. I feel like social media plays a huge role on this as well, because people only post their highlights of the relationship, and it's so easy to assume that all relationships are linear and perfect, but in reality that's so not the case at all. Okay, I think there's a lot of scenarios in my life that can justify for why I haven't been in a relationship in my life, let alone kiss anyone. So get ready, because we're gonna unpack all of this together, and it's just gonna be a chit-chat FaceTime call between you and me.
Hello?
First and foremost, I want to talk about how having a low self-esteem growing up affected my dating life and just everything in general. For a chunk of my childhood, I was a chubby kid, and although looking back, I don't think I was exactly fat, but I definitely felt way larger compared to other girls my age. I was also kind of mute at one point in my life because I was so shy and introverted that you wouldn't even notice me at the back of the classroom. Guys, I was literally put in EAL, which is English as an additional language. But mind you, English was definitely my first language. Like, we literally spoke it at home. So throughout high school and middle school, I never even considered dating anyone. I also never felt pretty enough, so I thought no boys would like me anyway. And when I was younger, because I had such a low confidence, making friends was already hard enough, so having crushes never even crossed my mind at all. I think only people who felt small growing up can relate to this. Oh yeah, can you see this little heart? I got it at a Valentine's party event. It was my first frat party, and like they gave everyone little hearts, and it kind of spread it out and became a fat heart. As I got to high school around year 7, year 8, I started having crushes, but I would never tell anyone. All I could do was secretly admire the person from afar and just let my feelings fade away, which is kind of sad thinking about it. Like, I wish I was more expressive. I kind of regret not having those puppy love in school where you have no commitments, no responsibilities, and just simply being in love. I remember during this time, a lot of people in my year started dating around, but whenever there's a small hiccup, it will cause so much drama. Being such an introvert, that was the last thing I want to get into. I fear so much about what others would think if I ever get into a relationship, and because it would be my first one, I'd overthink all the possibilities that could go wrong. What if people thought we're cringy? Would my friends stop talking to me because I'm dating this guy which they don't really like? I was low-key scared to find out what kind of person I was if I ever get into a relationship. So yeah, I ended up dodging all the potential relationships that I could have gotten to in high school. Towards the end of high school, my confidence slowly got better. I started caring about my appearances, like what I wear, learning makeup to make myself feel a little bit prettier. I remember being shipped with a few people, but the idea of dating just felt so scary in my brain. I honestly think I had, and still kind of have, a fear of intimacy. There was this boy which I was so close to getting into a potential relationship with. I don't know if you relate to this, but whenever someone expresses their feelings to me, I literally get into a fight or flight mode and cannot fathom the fact of being so close to someone. And if I'm not wrong, this is a characteristic of an avoidant attachment style. I think I'm way better at this now, but growing up, I've never been an expressive person. I had a really tight-knit family, but I would never express what I was going through to my family. Like, I'd rather keep things to myself than opening up about it. So maybe this relates to my fear of being so vulnerable to a significant other. I think hearing all the trauma relationship stories my friends or people around me have gone through just makes me rethink being in a relationship myself. Like, one day you think your friend is in a healthy relationship and you genuinely think they're gonna get married together, and the next day you just see them cut all contacts with this person as if nothing ever happened at all. And witnessing them hurting so bad and grieving over someone they once false love just makes you more afraid of trusting people. But now I just overthink every single encounter I get with a guy. Like if it's not perfect, I'll run because out of protection for myself, I don't want to get into whatever my friends got into. Okay, I'm getting heated. You know those friends who you were once so close with, suddenly they get into a relationship and they just forget about you? I hate those people. So I pray to God I will never be that kind of person, because it just makes you feel so bad as a friend. Like you were there before they meet their significant other. You were there for them for their highs and lows, and now they just completely forget about you. That just gives me so much ick. As time passed, I think my perception and mindset of love has definitely shifted a lot for the past few years, and now still I've been in a big self-love, self-growth era like everyone else. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely still grow as a person in a relationship, but I think being single just accelerates your self-growth so much just because of how much time you get to spend by yourself. For all the time spent by myself, I got to think a lot and really understand what I like and not like. I got to discover things that I truly enjoy, and having passion is really just the key to happiness. So yeah, all this to say that having passion really boosted my confidence because it gave me a tremendous sense of competency. It proved to me that if I put a lot of effort into something I believe in, I can accomplish the goals I set for myself. I think the best relationships are the kind where two people already have stuff going on in their life. They know what they're doing, they know what they like, and they come together and complement each other even more. It's so important to first embody the qualities of the person you're looking for. When you feel so stuck in the journey of finding yourself, you are nowhere near the state of attracting the right person for you. Bro, I need to buy actual tapes that work because these tapes are so shit. But yeah, for me right now, I think I'm at the stage of prioritizing my career and self-growth the most. So you'll not be catching me settling for a man who doesn't complement or add value to my goals and lifestyle. They say you are who you attract because your partner is a direct reflection of your inner self. There's a lot of unnecessary shame about doing things alone, but I think solitude can be so empowering and a powerful tool to cultivate deeper understanding of yourself. In relationships, we often lose sight of our own needs, desires, and passions. We get so wrapped up in the other person that we forget who we are outside of the relationship. So being single gives you a chance to rediscover parts of yourself that you may have neglected. I think first accepting that at the end of the day, if it's just you and your life, you'll be just fine. Not to be deep, but I think if I end up not having my first kiss, getting into a relationship, getting married, I think I'll be okay with dying alone. I can't stress this enough, but being your own best friend and not relying on external validation is so important. And in these past years of being by myself and being single, I've grew in so many ways which I never ever thought was possible. Moving to a new country definitely helped a lot, but I think by doing things alone made me understand myself at such deeper levels. They say that you meet the right person when you're not looking for it. So I think all these years I've never really put effort in positions of meeting new people. I genuinely thought that one day, miraculously, someone would drop from the sky and that'll be the love of my life. But obviously those only happen in rom-coms, and it's not really the case in real life. You don't need to actively look for someone, but you have to still put yourself in positions and situations that would attract you the right person at the right time. But obviously don't mix this up with desperation. Don't go to events expecting to meet the love of your life, but be open to opportunities that come your way, and be comfortable with talking to guys or girls, even if it's just a random conversation with a person on the street. You really don't know what can happen, but trust that the universe will place the person in front of you when they think you're ready. And when it's time, you wouldn't even need to question it at all because they're simply meant for you. Okay, I don't know if I want to tell the story, but fuck it. As some of you guys know, I'm currently doing an exchange semester in Montreal, and I'll only be here for 6 months. Throughout this entire 6 months, I will not be expecting to be dating someone just because I don't think I can ever do long distance. But yeah, towards the end of January, like everyone else, I listed all my New Year's resolutions and I had a category for relationship. For the first time in my life, I listed all the characteristics I wanted. Honestly, after writing all my resolutions, I've forgotten about it. 2 weeks later, I went into a cafe which I would never gone into just because it wasn't in an area which I would usually go to. It was like lunchtime on a Sunday, so it was peak cafe hours. I walked inside, looked around, it was all packed. I was so close to turning around and finding a new cafe, but the worker was so close to me and she was like kind of pressuring me. There was 2 options available, one with this girl and another one with this guy. Obviously my first option was to ask the girl, so I asked the girl and she said she was waiting for someone. I kindly asked this guy if I could share a table with him. He was kind enough and he said I was about to leave in 30 minutes anyway, so I was like, like, oh, thank you. And I sat down opposite him. I had an assignment due the next day, guys. So I was in a bad state in general, physically and mentally. I was just there to get shit done. As I was taking all my stuff off my bag to do my work, and he started like asking a lot of questions. At first I was like, oh, maybe this will only like last for another maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, we talked for half an hour. Like the conversation was quite decent, I'd say, because we touched on like so many things. But at first I didn't even consider this person as someone I would want to talk to. That's the thing, I wasn't looking to be in a relationship at this point. After the conversation, he left, and then the thought just came into my mind, like it's so creepy because of how close he was to the qualities I listed. So I was like, oh my god, what could this mean? Because this has to be a sign from the universe. This person just like randomly was placed in front of me out of nowhere. I met him another time for a short while, but I knew something wasn't working. It broke me a lot because I was like, what are the chances of this happening? I spent so much time figuring out why this happened because it just felt so perfect and like out of a movie. But there was definitely some flaws in him, which I will not say I don't think was a perfect match, but my brain just kept neglecting it because of how much of a coincidence this was. But anyways, long story short, I'm not talking to this guy anymore, but I think the universe just proved to me that everything I manifested can come true. Everything will work out and everything will be for my highest good. So thoughts about love now. For the past few situationships I've been in, I've realized I spend so much less time doing the things that I like. For example, creating content. It's because I put all my energy into that situationship and I overthink everything about it. But that just goes to show that these people were not meant for me. They don't reciprocate. You can't stop overanalyzing whether they like you or not. Guess what? They don't like you. And this is where you need to stop and move on. There's no point forcing things that are not working. I don't chase, I attract. Repeat that after me. And I've come to a realization that when you're in a situationship, you don't have the availability of finding someone you deserve. You're spiritually and emotionally unavailable until you let the situationship go. Stop trying to prove them your value. You can't make somebody who doesn't see your value see your value. At the end of the day, it's better to let them lose you and trust that you'll find somebody else who truly see your value. Okay, that was kind of deep. Honestly, being single and having no one to commit to is kind of nice actually. Like I don't have to compromise with anyone's schedules, anyone's preferences or needs. I can literally accidentally go out till 5 a.m. and not having to explain to anyone else. But yeah, I think right now I am okay being 20 and not having to kiss anyone or date anyone. But of course, as much as I love and thrive in my alone time, I do intend to get into a relationship when I'm ready. And instead of being desperate, I trust that God and the universe will allow me to attract someone I truly deserve when I'm ready. So yeah, if you are in like similar situations as me and you're feeling a bit behind compared to your peers, because when you're this age, the majority of people have already had a few experiences in the past, know that you're not alone. Try to not compare to anybody else because you don't want to be desperate, but the right person will definitely come to you at the right time. But I do sometimes think about if I ever get into a relationship, I fear that I'll be bad at it because it'll be my first time and I will obviously be bad at it. I'll be a bad kisser. But the thing is, I don't like being bad at things. I think I've yapped a little bit too much in today's video. But if you guys like this kind of video, make sure to like and subscribe and share it to a friend who never experienced love before. And I actually kind of enjoy sitting down and talking to you guys like this. So definitely comment down below what other talking videos I should do. And I'm so excited to upload more finally on YouTube. I hope you have a nice day and take care of yourself. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!